Yeah, you're fine because Hengist's armor is a 5, so you got dead on his armor. Any more than that, Hengist would have been pissed.
So I still think you should have been allowed a special.
Does that mean that part of the armor's no good now?
No, it doesn't work like that. Armor automatically absorbs that damage no matter what. The only time that I actually does it, if I think Dominic has it, you have something called the Sunder, which that means that it actually damages the armor and anything that does. So, for example, if you've got 3 armor points on, and Dominic does Sunder and does 5, it'll take 3 points off the armor, so that armor is now useless, and 2 points of cascade down onto the hit location. nice mute.
He's got the fastest fingers in the West.
So just before we set off, guys, I don't mind you. I sometimes like to put a bit of mystery into the games. Now, I don't know whether or not that's the sort of like games you like to play, but by all means, feel that you can. I don't mind it now and again if you discuss it in out of character, rather than all sort of like the stood there. I don't mind that because sometimes it is a bit of a puzzle, and sharing information, etc. So it's up to you. I just don't want you to feel that you all sort of like are by yourselves in your little sort of like niches. You can sort of like discuss and sort of like, I mean, even in character, you can sort of like talk about it and sort of like say, what you think's actually happening, because you've all got really important pieces of information that I'm assuming that you would share with each other. So yeah. So anyway, so we're back. Yeah, we have been for some time. For some time we've been trying to track down who the real Mr. Pickles is.
I'd just like to say that it's not me.
No, well, it's an account. He follows 2 people.
Sounds dodgy.
Yeah.
I don't trust this Mr. Pickles guy. He seems like a trickster of some kind.
I'd just like to say that he only showed up when the other Mr. Pickles showed up.
Yeah, he was. And then I have to say hello to Jundar.
Hello, Jundar.
Hey, Jundar.
Jundar popped in.
Hey, mate.
Who actually started off playing in my first ever D&D campaign.
I can remember that.
Yeah.
He was an Orc Paladin, wasn't he? Or half Orc Paladin.
He was a barbarian, actually.
Yeah. Nice try.
But close. Very close.
And he never changed his character.
Say again. I don't know, Violet Gumby, who he says.
I have. So look at this. I have chat and game notes, right? That's like my offensive critical hits and stuff on the screen, right? I have been talking in chat. No one's been responding to me, and then it's my chat. Wrong chat.
I'm going to teach you a bit of British Sign Language now.
Why? I was like, none of the commands are working. I was like, no one's responding to me. I'm over here. I'm like,
this means
fail, cricket. The suspense is killing me. Now I want chicken. I'm watching the stream. Where is everybody? No one's responding to me. I'm in the wrong chat.
So
Hold
Raph,
on, mate. I'll come in your chat.
Raph, in British Sign Language, this means stupid. Just so you know.
I think in American Sign Language it's something like that, isn't it?
I even wrote in Discord, I was like, I miss you all in chat. And they're like, I just look over, he goes, I've been there the whole time. I'm being ignored. I'm in the wrong chat.
Everybody's in my chat.
Yeah,
the
wrong
best
chat.
place
My
to be.
bad.
So,
I have a lot of chat to catch up on.
Yeah, okay.
So Gully's going to be. He's gonna look at these bones and this tomb here, and then he's gonna look back to where they came, and he's gonna have a look at this snake, and he's gonna think back to an hour ago, and he's gonna turn around and he's gonna go, I don't understand something. How did the snake get down here?
Briggs
It was sealed. We opened it.
Oh,
Yep.
I got the answer. And it's that I want to roll a skill.
Yeah, go for it.
The locale skill
Yeah.
I can't pronounce. I want to see if maybe this snake, like they I don't know, they are good at burrowing in weird ways.
Okay.
And they don't use front doors.
You figured that this snake has probably been living down here. From entering the tomb up to this point, there's been no visible exit or entrance. There's been no earth-made holes or anything like that. It's obvious that this snake has been living down here for some time.
Yeah, Briggs is immediately going to start looking around the walls. He's going to pull Gully with him because he's got the lantern, and he's going to like look up and down the walls and start pushing on the walls.
Gully's going to be going. What are we looking for, Briggs? Briggs, what are you looking for?
Briggs is going to.
You're looking for traps, Briggs. You after traps. What are you looking for?
He's going to turn around and he's going to say, "Holes."
Holes for what?
And he's going to point at the snake.
I haven't seen any holes big enough for a snake.
He's going to turn around and say,
So where? Hang on, Briggs. Whereabouts do you actually want to start checking for these holes in the wall?
so the closest point would be about here.
This was a big snake, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been like a trapdoor or something.
Okay,
so when it was a baby snake.
So roll your perception.
Right. This ain't gonna be good. This.
How long ago was it since this place was sealed up from the plague?
Well, the interesting thing is, all you know of this tomb was that people asked about the graveyard up on top, and people knew that the graveyard was used for the plague, for the burial of the plague victims. However, nothing was asked about the tomb below.
So Angus is going to turn to Ika, and he's going to say, so you've been sent here by the Two Moons people for part of your initiation. Would they have sent others here beforehand, before you, to do the same thing, who haven't returned?
I'm going to see if my devotion knows the answer to that.
Yeah. It's a very easy thing to know. You know that clerics of your order are sent on quests on regular basis, and they have to do regular quests in order to prove their allegiance to both the Twin Moon god and goddess, but also to the order, and sort of like to demonstrate that they are worthy of future training and future skills and future spells. Whether or not anybody's been sent to here before, you're not aware of that. Briggs, just so you know, as you go up and down your thing, it looks like a solid stone wall.
The only places that the only other place where we've seen these urns, there was one in the chamber before we went through the secret door.
Correct.
Then there was 3 up in the top alcove up here.
Correct.
All the same size were those?
Yeah, roughly. I'm just drawing on the other one for. I'm just making it a little bit thicker. So there was one there. If you look, zoom out of the map, because although Ika was here, Mr. Pickles wasn't. There was one
we'll be able
there.
to see it because of the light source.
Oh right, yeah. And then I'll pop these on for you. These are probably still in your light source, aren't they?
No, I might have to. Right,
Yeah.
so there we go. I've moved those down. So those are the ones.
And just
Then we've
move.
got those there, and then if I move him, I know because I can't. And then that was the other one.
Yeah. And that was the one that you found first.
And are these three here? Are those about the same size, and are they sealed in the same way with the bit of cloth over the top?
They certainly are. Yeah.
And are all these sealed the same way with the bit of cloth?
Some are, some aren't.
So after Briggs and Gully have done sort of like a quick scout round to see whether or not there's any holes that a snake could have come from, and not finding anything.
Don't you think it's possible that when this place was made, or a long time ago when all these bodies were brought in, they put a little snake in here, and it feasted on bodies that were sacrificed to it, and the adventures that they set down here as like us, and this thing feasted and got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean like big, massive holes for the size of the snake now. I mean like little holes that the snake could have crawled through when it was younger or something.
Or maybe somebody put it here on purpose.
Yeah, to guard the main tomb, maybe.
I mean, Gully's going to listen to all this, but he's going to go. But what I don't understand is how it survived for so long down here.
Well, like
The entrance was sealed up when we came down. There was also a secret door which we didn't know about, but whoever must have put the snake in here must have known about.
So they probably.
But then there's all these bodies in here, but there's no coffins for the bodies, and they're all stacked up in a certain area. So I don't understand how they've all got round in this down here.
Unless it's what, like Dominic has said, that the
somebody put them there or sent them.
Yes, the order is actually sending down people who never return.
So it's almost like a test.
Or trap.
My people wouldn't do that to me because I have a rich father. First off,
He is very rich.
but my devotion is strong, and I don't believe that they're sending us into a trap. We're here for a reason.
Gully's going to look at all these skeletons, and he's going to go, there's lots of thigh bones here.
So we're here to get a very specific one, Gully. A very specific one. That's we'd know it if we saw it. And these are not it, I am sure.
I mean, it might just be me, but I do see a giant coffin with a glowing gem on top of it, so.
Well, we've investigated everything except for this, so I think we can feel safe that the room is secure. I then just gesture towards it as if expecting somebody else to physical labor.
Hengist will sheath his sword and slowly and gingerly, because he's not scared of it, but he's a little bit apprehensive of what might happen. He's going to slowly make his way towards the sarcophagus.
Okay, so are you stepping on the bones?
If he can see gaps between the bones,
Your choices
each set of bone.
Yeah, your choices are you either move the bones out the way, which you could do with a foot to, just sort of like slide them one way or the other, or you step on them.
He's going to move them aside as he walks, but
You can use your shield.
Okay, so you see Hengist starts to walk forward, and he uses his booted foot to sort of like push the bits of bones and skeletons to one side until he has made himself that 5 foot, or that one almost like that 1 meter wide path down towards the sarcophagus, and he sort of like stands where he is now. So just
Hengist is going.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm just going to put it on, guys. So that's the pathway. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then when Hengist gets there, he wants to have a quick examine of the coffin to see how the lid is attached to the main part of the sarcophagus.
Okay.
So is it a slide, or is there a lip that he's got to lift and push and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Just make me a perception roll, please. Very easy.
Oh, well, I wouldn't even trust that with Hengist's skill. And perception.
Okay.
To tell you.
So you notice that the top of the sarcophagus sort of like moves on and off, just like the one that you saw beforehand. However, one thing that you do notice is that this sarcophagus it's not sealed in any way. If anything, there's almost like a thin line round where the sarcophagus lid is. It doesn't sort of like sit completely flush to it. It almost like looks as if it's been moved on several occasions.
Okay.
Gully's going to turn around to Ika, and he's going to go when Hengist is doing all this. He's going to go, Mistress Ika, I've actually made some drawings of the runes that were back there. Is there anybody in Lindowe who you might be able to suggest would be able to tell me more about them? Maybe what they mean?
I'm sure that there is somebody there that could help you with that. But let me just sink into my mind, see if there's anybody I can think of.
There, various people who are quite specialized in arcane runes for magic, or maybe more importantly for religion.
Well, I know many people, Goalie. I will bring you to them.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Because I think these runes might hold a secret to this tomb.
I agree with you. And I believe that the goddess of the Twin Moons is illuminating the path. She will guide us to success. But I think we need to open up this sarcophagus first.
Going on what happened last time, with them trying to open up the coffin or what sarcophagus.
Oh yes, yeah.
Briggs is going to be scouting out behind him and all around, above, below, just like everywhere, making sure that no skeletons pop out.
Good point. Yeah. I will let you know if anything jumps out the behind at you.
Gully's going to put the torch on the lantern on the floor, so it's illuminating where they are now.
Yeah,
and seeing that Hengist is over by the sarcophagus, he's going to go over to give him a hand to push it open.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Gully.
He's just going to walk over the bone, so he's not going to.
Those are your. I put your goddesses' names. Dark Moon is a god, and the White Moon is a goddess. I put them in chat for you on Roll20, Mr. Pickles.
Gotcha. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. So think of them more like the White Moon is the one that you see. That's your healing moon. And then the Dark Moon is the combat moon, and you never see it. People know that the Dark Moon is there, but you never see it apart from when you get something like an eclipse. And they actually think it's another moon rather than the shadow of the Earth eclipsing it.
Okay.
Amriel's considered the moon of purity and goodness,
Say again.
whereas purity, goodness, and healing, whereas Maroth is associated with evil and corruption.
Yes, excellent. So Gully sort of like tramps over the skeletons, and at one point, he gets his foot caught in a pelvis and has to shake it off, and then the next step stands on the sternum of a rib cage and goes like that, and so like all the ribs sort of like snap, and then he eventually gets down to the sarcophagus next to Hengist. What would you like to do, guys?
This the sort of like statue that's on top of it. It has like a jewel.
It's not a statue. It's just sort of like a relief.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what is it holding this?
Yeah, it's like a hooded figure, and imagine rather than its hands together, in a typical praying, it's just sort of like here, and sorry, can you see that? Like here, and then it's just sort of like has this rather large gem. It's quite blue and purple in nature. It's not like a red one. And it's just,
does it look like the gem would come off, or are its fingers sort of like...
It looks like...
Does it look like it was part of the carving when it was done?
Most definitely. Just as you suggest, just like a ring where the gemstone would be held in by the clasps of additional metal. This one, the hands sort of like come across and claps, so it forms the clasp holding the gem in place.
And you say that there's a slight gap in between the... Does it look like the lid's been pushed off at all at any time?
Oh, make me a perception roll. Yeah, most definitely. Is there anything anybody else would like to do at this point?
Goody's going to put his hands on the lid, and then he's going to look up at Angus and smile.
Angus is going to put his hands on the lid, look at Gully and go, on 3. 1, 2...
On 3 or push on 3? Or is it 1, 2, push, or 1, 2, 3, push? 1, 2, 3, push. The age-old debate. 1, 2, 3, push. Okay.
1, 2, 3. There goes Angus's brawn roll.
Yeah, you sort of like push the sarcophagus lid, and it's amazing how easy it just sort of like almost like pushes to one side, and inside the sarcophagus it sort of like reveals instantly in there not what you expected to see, but more of a semi-decayed body of what appears to be a man of some description, and he's almost like he's not skeletal in any sense of the word, and he sort of like has flesh hanging off various parts of him. But interestingly enough, he does have some items of sort of like cloth, etc., hanging onto him as well. And just as you push it up, all of a sudden you notice that his right hand comes straight out Gully and tries to grab you.
No, Gully. Oh no.
There you go. Let me just sort of like call this up.
Is there any way that Hengist could react fast enough to try and protect Gully, either push him out the way or grab the hand as it's going for Gully? Because that's instinctively what he would try to do.
At the present moment in time, no, because I have the surprise over you.
That's fine.
So the only thing that you can do, Gully, if you wish, is to try to evade.
Yes, indeedy.
This roll. So he reaches up. Okay, so he reaches up and tries to grab you, but you sort of like.
Well, Gully's still going to try to evade.
you stumble back somewhat and sort of like goes down on the floor, and you actually find you sort of like totter back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because Gully actually, as this thing tries to grab him, Gully's just sort of like starts to as if to go back to avoid it, but his foot slips on a bone and he sort of like lands on his backside with his hands by his side, and then he's going to sort of like start to scramble away.
Yeah. Okay, so this creature,
but you hear him going, ah!
Yeah, this creature sort of like eases itself up, almost like to a sitting position in the coffin or sarcophagus. And I'm just before anybody does anything, let me just do this. Cool, and we're ready for some initiatives, guys.
I'll take 12.
Didn't mine roll? Oh yeah,
I want to go last.
I'm right the way down at the. I need to extend it. There we go.
Okay, let me just check something. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, this is round one, turn one, and Gully, you are up.
Having fallen down to evade the thing's grasp, and he's now on the bones. Gully is going to continue. He's not going to try to get up. He's going to continue pulling himself backwards on the bones until he's off them.
Okay, you'll probably get to just off the bones, but you're still actually on the floor.
And he's going to go, the dead man's not dead.
Excellent. Okay then, my turn to fight. Okay, so this beast turns straight round to you, Hengist, and starts its multiple attacks.
I don't like that word, multiple.
Its first claw misses. Its second claw does hit.
Okay.
And its bite misses.
Okay, so how can Hengist react to this? Obviously, he can't parry and he can't use his thing. Or would he use unarmored to try and parry or dodge?
You can either evade, which means that you'll launch yourself out to one side, which means that you will land on the floor and be prone on something. You can actually do your unarmed roll because you've got no weapon or shield down, so you can use your unarmed to, as the claw sort of like comes out towards you, to try to knock it out of the way.
Hengist is
if
going
you get a special on your evade, you do have the option to roll out and come up on your feet
with an athletics roll. So what
I don't know what to do.
Whatever you're going to do it fast.
Hengist will try and swat it out. So try and push the arm out and parry.
Okay,
He's a fierce warrior. He doesn't back away.
Okay, use your thing. Yeah, so the claw comes and you actually manage to, as this sort of like hideous claw sort of like swipes towards you, you manage to actually knock it out of the way with your hand as it goes around, and that almost like puts the beast, the corpse, off balance as it swipes with its other one blindly in the air and also tries to take a chunk out of you. Briggs, you're up.
Briggs, hearing all this, immediately turns around and readies his bow.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay then. And next, Hengist, you're up.
So he's going to use his left arm to try and parry it, whilst with his right arm he's drawing his sword.
Okay.
Ready to act next turn with his sword out.
Cool. So drawing that weapon, brilliant. And Dominic Shea, you are up.
Can I? Oh man, I don't even know if this is a thing I can do. Probably gonna take 2 turns, but if I was to charge and dive and tackle him off the top of it,
Yeah.
how would that work?
Number one, to charge, and somebody would correct me, but I think you must spend a round.
We looked at this a couple of weeks ago. So you announce you want to charge, and then it takes a round to come off, if I remember reading it right.
Yeah.
And then, so not this turn, but next turn you will arrive at it, and then you get, I can't remember, there's some sort of bonus for doing it because you're adding your weight to it.
Yes.
I think that's what it was.
So
it said,
it's
but it was a
not-
few weeks ago.
It's not this. So this whole round you would actually spend prepping, ready to charge at it, and then you would then charge the next round, and then you would get the bonuses. I'm just trying to find it in the rules. But the other thing that I would say is that yes, you might knock him out, but remember his bottom half is still in the actual in the sarcophagus. It's just his top half up.
That reminds me. I can't remember if you said, and if you have, I apologise. How high off the ground is like the lip of the thing? Is it sort of like knee, waist, mid chest? Is waist high?
Yeah.
Page
And then he's sitting
102
on
for
top of that.
charging.
102. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that with his body being halfway, if I hit him, it might just snap it or.
A charge requires at least 1 full combat turn of movement at running or sprinting speed. A charge
Requires one
imposes a
full
penalty
combat
to...
round, not turn. Round.
Yeah.
Oh, round. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
It would take that would take a long time.
exact. Well, a round is only 5 seconds. Turns.
Yeah, I guess. But
So-
yeah, everybody would get 2 actions during that,
Or
2,
3, yeah.
2 or 3 turns. That takes so long. No,
Yeah.
I can't waste that much time. Okay, never mind. No, I just can't do it. I'm just gonna move. I mean, can I move all the way up to here? 1, 2,
Yeah,
3, 4?
it's almost like classed as difficult terrain, but you've probably got the movement to get there. So
I have 6 movement. That's
yeah.
4 spaces. Is that okay?
yeah, so
Okay.
it's 2.5 meters to get there. So that's fine. Okay then, Ika, you're up.
A quick question. I'm looking at my True Weapon Miracle ability, and it says a cult specified close combat weapon. What are my options there? What? Yeah.
Kopesh or Kopesh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, because I presume it says that I can pick a recipient, which means I could slap Wrath's character with some true weaponing. But does an axe count? Is it just like bladed weapons? Is it daggers? What's my cult specification?
It's true. The spell's true weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're asking the hard.
Oh,
questions.
wait a minute. No, never mind. I'm wrong. I still want to cast it, but I think it only works on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I still want to cast it. Make my Kopesh, which is maybe cult specified.
That certainly is. Yes. Your
Cool.
Kopesh is, and your throwing knives are that you have across your chest. You'll notice in your character, so you actually have knives that you can chuck as well.
Excellent. I want a true weapon myself, so I need to roll exhort first.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, you do your praying. Do you wish to look it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because
I very much want to.
You make it 37.
Yeah. So I go to my core page here, and then I just remove one of my luck points.
Yeah.
Bam. So then that means my praying was successful.
Yeah. So what does your Kopesh look like now?
I would presume that it would get really like, if there's any kind of tarnishing or any smudges on it, it would suddenly become very, very mirror-like and clear, reflecting light really well as a sign of my beautiful light moon god.
Yes. Okay, so Briggs, you can almost like see Ika mutter a prayer, and then you notice that her Kopesh almost like comes to light in her hand. Brilliant. And so that's combat turn 1 done. So we're on to combat turn 2. Gully, you're up.
Is getting up from prone an action?
Correct.
That is my action.
Brilliant. And my turn. Okay then, I've got 2 people ahead of me, so I'm not going to do silly D&D when I do claw, bite or anything like that, because I never think monsters will actually do that. You know, they will just attack one person and see how it goes. So who wants to be odds and who wants to be evens?
Odds.
Yeah, it makes sense, because as you sort of like charge into combat after being knocked to one side by Hengist, the monster turns round and sort of like as you get close, it suddenly swipes at you to do some damage at you. Okay, so first claw hits, second claw misses. Bite misses.
Kinds of attacks.
So you can evade or parry the claw attack.
Okay, so if I parry, do I just have to succeed or do I have to roll a 5 or less?
You just have to succeed in your thing, because he didn't critical or anything like that. So you would just roll your normal Axeman skill and get a standard roll.
Oh shit.
Okay, so he swipes at you, and you try desperately to bring your battle axe round to try to block his attack, but you don't get it round quick enough, and his claw hits you on your 6.
You got any luck that you can use?
See, I wanted to ask a question. I'm not gonna use it. I have 1 luck point left. But I have a quick question just for future reference.
Yeah.
So if I used it, that would change it to a 0.5. Would that be a critical, or would it not count because I'm using a luck point?
You would. It would mean that you would hit. You won't have critted, because your critical has to be. What's your skill?
40.
47. So your skill, your critical roll would be 4.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay, but you could either swap it round or re-roll it.
Right. I'm not going to use it. I want to save that last luck point for a future.
Okay, so this is 6.
and hope that this attack doesn't decapitate you.
Yeah. Well, this is a 6 is my left leg.
You do get them luck points back though, don't you?
I was wondering when
Yes,
that
yeah,
happened.
you get them
After resting or something.
After you've aged 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you take 4 points of damage in your leg.
Okay, so do I drop my armor down?
So
down my left leg?
what's your armor on your right leg? 5. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the your armor will absorb that 4 points.
So do I drop the HP down to 1 then?
No, the armor points stay the same no matter what. So basically, he swiped at you, and it just clawed across your armor and didn't penetrate.
Armor points are 3. Sorry.
Oh, right.
HP is 5.
Right.
I thought he had different armor as well.
He does. So armor points on your leg is what? Sorry.
3. Sorry.
3.
That was my bad.
So you take 1 point off your right leg.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Yep,
But
that
your
makes sense.
armor points are still there.
Yeah. Yep,
So
we're good.
they don't go. Okay. Briggs, you're up.
Okay, so he was just about to let this arrow go flying when
Sorry, I didn't even see that.
sorry. When Berserker dude goes charging nuts first, and then he gets blinded by this shiny thing going off, and he's like, I ain't taking a chance again. And he like with what do you call it? Draws back, releases, but not let go of the arrow.
Okay. Cool. Hengist, you're up.
So yeah, Hengist has parried. He's now got his sword out. As soon as he gets his sword out, he's going to turn it into a draw cut as well. So it's going. He's trying to draw. So he's going to attack basically. Formidable.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So then you want.
Hang a minute. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I fail in my parry. So tell me where and when.
No, special first.
Special first. Doesn't
Ooh.
matter. Special first. I need.
Special.
It's going to be.
Can I?
Yeah. Go for it.
Does it have to be a bladed, a damage one? Because I kind of really want to use press advantage, if that's possible. It's on page 98. The attacker presses his opponent so that his foe is forced to remain on the defensive and cannot attack on their next turn. This allows the attacker to potentially establish an unbroken sequence of attacks whilst the defender desperately blocks.
Let me just check.
Bottom of page 98.
That'd be really useful.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Requires a critical
Oh, does it? Okay.
or,
never mind then.
or an opponent fumble. It's in
Okay.
it's in blue
Hang on.
on the tables that we were given.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't check on the tables. I was looking at the rule books.
Hang on a minute, because I just need to look at it on the big table. Just
I mean, if I can't use it, that's fine.
No, well, I think it'd be a really good one to use. I just need to see what is needed for it. But there's one big table.
Oh, is it?
No,
I don't know what table you're talking about.
there's a table on page 100.
Oh, is there?
It says that's the sort of like the main one. Press advantage. No, it just says that it's an offensive critical. An offensive special. It doesn't say that it requires a special roll or anything.
Right, because on the tables that I have, do you know the ones that you linked in down at the bottom? Well, it's hard to say whether or not it's beige or not.
No, it's all right because I've got them in. So the attacker presses her so that his foe is forced to remain on the defense and cannot attack on their next turn. This allows the attacker to that's absolutely fine. So I cannot attack basically on my next turn. Yeah, cool.
Can I interject something real quick?
Yeah, by all means.
Just so you know, I don't know if he got banned or something. Violent Gumby posted a link to a dancing flower, and I think he might have just gotten banned off your channel. Oh no, he's good. He's back. Never mind. You're good.
There's no links. Yeah, there's no links.
Don't post links.
Okay. Yeah. So brilliant. So 18.
Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then roll damage.
Yeah. So this is his left arm.
Okay, 7.
So that's going to be 6 points off there. Okay, let me just roll this. Okay, so you sort of like whack his arm. You actually whack into his left arm, and you whack into it, and your sword. You feel the sword goes through the flesh onto the bone, and you sort of like draw it out, and you can actually see that the huge gash down his arm.
Nice.
And that's it. Yeah. So now, Dominic, you're up.
All right. At this point, I'm debating if I want to go. Is it worth it to spend my turn going into Axeman augment skill, or should I just attack? I think it's worth it because I don't want to miss. So I'm gonna.
How many action points do you have?
I have one left. Oh wait, no, because I parried. Does that takes an action? Okay, yep. So I'm at 0. I take that back. Sorry.
Yeah. So I don't think you've got any left. Is that right? Because you only have 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Ika, you're up.
I forgot.
I would like to move as close as I can. I kind of wanted to skirt around over here. If you're looking at the map, but I'm not entirely sure. It says my move rate is 6.
6. Yeah. So basically, if you work out roughly how much it will actually be.
I mostly just want to get around to the other side, but I acknowledge that I'm walking on like bones, and I'm kind of.
So that basically this first meter is going to be normal terrain, and then basically you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically you're going to go into double terrain. They're difficult terrain, so you'll probably get there because you can this part as well. So if I'm just moving you, so that one and that one are normal terrain. So that's like 2 meters, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you see? Because those two will be boned, but because this one here, Hengist is cleared.
Thank you, Hengist.
I
want to whisper that.
I got you back. Don't worry.
Yeah, and that's why I put those 2 yellow stripes on it, so I know which ones were actually cleared. So you will get there, and that will be your movement on turn 2. Excellent. Cool. And Gully, do you have anything left for turn 3?
Yeah, Gully has an action point left, so he's going to reach into his tunic and draw out his disc that he uses to cast his spells with.
Cool. And Ghoul, I can't attack this round, this turn, because you pressed your advantage, Hengist, the last one. So I can't do anything. Briggs, you're out.
Yeah,
and Hengist...
Hengist is out. He's parried. He's drawn his sword and
I
he's
am
attacked.
the real Mr. Pickles.
Somebody just said, I am the real Mr. Pickles on the stream.
Blasphemy!
And I don't mind because they just donated £5, which...
Good on Mr. Pickles.
Yeah, I take that back.
You are the real Mr. Pickles.
So, does anybody else have any action points left?
Nope.
No.
I'm done.
Okay then. So this is now round 2, turn 1. So Gully, we're up to you.
Outstretching his hand, holding the disc towards this evil ghoul-like thing that has risen out of this sarcophagus, he's going to start mumbling a spell.
Cool. Ghouly's turn. This is coming at you, Dominique, because
Dominique.
Sorry, Dominic, but phew.
Little did you know.
okay. Well, claw misses. Bite misses as well. So he sort of like goes, and you're just sort of like doing the classic, almost like barbarian duck and lean back as these claws, and it just sort of like goes for your neck. You just sort of like bend over slightly. You just lean over to one side as it just bites the air right next to where your face was, just feeling a bit of its spittle on your face. Briggs, you're up.
Okay. The lantern's next to me, isn't it?
It's roughly just behind where Gully is at the moment.
Oh, I thought Gully left it where he was stood and
It's
went
about
forward.
here.
Okay, so he's going to move to about. He's going to move to about here, and ready his bow.
Okay, cool. Okay, Hengist, you're up.
Angus is just going to continue attacking this thing.
Go for it. Yeah, so you swing and it's not able to actually parry. So special first.
Angus is going to continue using this. Whatchamacallit? I can't remember what I've just said.
Press
Press advantage.
That's the one.
Okay.
He's going to do that. So he's going to finish one swipe, and immediately after the draw cut, he's going to have swiped again.
Okay, so I can't fight next turn. Okay.
And he's going to roll for his hit location. Roll for his hit location.
Can we add 10? Sorry, I should have said before 10 to the hit locations, because you can't actually get his legs.
Okay.
Unless you want to sort of like cut down into the sarcophagus.
No,
so the creature's mostly up above the sarcophagus. So basically, if you add 10 to your roll, that will bring all your hit locations up. So that will go into his chest.
Okay. 7 points.
Okay, yeah. So that you feel it slide through some hardened skin, and sort of like whacks into his chest. It puts a deep gouge into it, but it seems fine.
Yeah. So Hengist would have done a cut that would have been parallel in between the ribs, so not going against the ribs. It would have gone sort of like followed the same line as the gap in between each rib, and it would have just gone like
Cool.
that straight across.
Dominic, you're up.
All right. Okay, so yeah, I do have. I was trying to remember if I'd used my Axeman power up or not, but I hadn't. So
You haven't.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use that now.
Okay. Roll your
It's taking me a while to.
mysticism skill. It's on the front.
No. Yep. All right. Here.
Look.
36. Actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and use luck for this round.
So that go to.
Can I just use it to reverse it?
Yeah. What intensity is it? 2.
Yeah. 2 again.
So don't forget to take off your 2 magic points.
Just did it. Yep.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's you up with that ready for next round. Ika.
I would like to raise my Kopish and just smack down with my true weapon.
Cool, go for it. So you should have a combat style.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you roll.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's a critical roll. Okay, I can't actually parry against it because I'm not actually aware of it coming into me. So you have a critical roll, and you have 2 specials that you can get off. So your 2, if you think about just criticals, the choices you can do is that you can either bypass the armor, so you'll go past its hardened skin and I will take the damage, whatever, or you can maximize the damage. Okay, so you can actually, no matter what you would roll, it would be 100. It would be max damage.
Now, isn't that what my true weapon spell does? It doubles the type of weapon's damage up to the maximum that the weapon can inflict.
Yeah, so I think. Hang on, let me just check.
It's on page 191.
Thank you.
The physical page.
With the max damage critical, it's only for 1 dice. So if, for example, you were rolling 2d8s, you would only get 1 as 8. You would still need to roll the other one.
So I think I should do the ignore armor, because it would be kind of redundant to have a spell that increases my damage and but I can't go over that 8, I guess. Just in
So
case.
the miracle doubles the type of weapon's damage up to the maximum the weapon can inflict, and increases its size by 1 step for the purpose of overcoming parries. Yeah. So therefore, what's your Kopesh?
It says it's a D8.
Right. So
medium size.
So true weapon will automatically give it 8, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus your it doubles the type of weapon damage up to the maximum that the weapon can inflict. So you would roll your damage as normal, and then double it. So that literally would be 14 points. Now, are you using max damage on that, or are you using bypass armor?
I was going to use the bypass armor unless somebody in the group wants to tell me I'm being...
No, I think that would be better.
But bypass armor is probably one of the best ones to use on it.
Cool.
And I mean, the other thing that you could do, because you also critical, you could choose location. So you could say, I want to hit it in the head.
Oh, that would be a good one.
As your other critical.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with bypass armor for now. I'm just gonna slash in wherever I can because I'm an initiate. I'm not too experienced at running around in dungeons.
But you have 2, don't you?
You have 2
because you critted.
2?
Yeah.
So you can choose 2 of them. So you could have bypass armor and hit it in the head.
Well, then I wouldn't bypass its head.
Do that.
Yeah. So because you critted, you get 2 specials. So the first one you're saying is that you're going to bypass its armor, which you get as a crit, and you only get that as a crit. The second one you're saying you're going to choose location, which means that you can actually choose where you hit it, and you don't need a critical roll for that at all. So therefore you can do 14 points of damage in its head. If you
Can I just remind everyone, at the very beginning of this session, Inwill said, combat is deadly. And this is why.
Well, this is what I want to do then. Yeah, I'm going to confirm Ika's action.
Okay, yeah, so Ika's, with her, almost like her glowing Kopesh, takes an almighty swing at this beast's head. And you Hengist and Dominic, and even Gully to some extent, you almost like see it slow down as this Kopesh, bright light of the deity, actually swings straight through this creature's head and actually completely decapitates it in one fair swoop. And it just sort of like fires off and sort of like lands somewhere down here, and just sort of like plonks on the ground, and the body just sort of like slumps, almost like lifeless.
Why you do that with a snake?
Father thought I needed adventurers with me.
Yeah.
I'll look all smug and flick my hair.
This is what one of the things I like about the game is that, you know, if you get that critical, then that can be it. Yeah, cool. What would you like to do? Oh, sorry.
Dude, Dominic
Well, he's
just
going to
smashes
sigh and put his disc back in his tunic.
Hengist is just going to give a grim face and nod to Ika, and then he's going to go, "Honours are all yours," to her.
Is it dead?
It's up to him to her
Billy
to
Bob,
do whatever she wants
not
to do
Billy
now.
Bob. Briggs is Briggs is going to be happy that he's still got 5 arrows left.
I'm going to go for that thigh bone if anybody's going to stop me. I'm snatching it up.
Well,
That's what Hengist was meaning.
the interesting thing is, this creature appears to be over the top of something else. It's not actually there seems to be a skeletal body underneath this creature. So it's this sort of like undead appears to be almost like lying on top of it, and there's a skeletal underneath it.
Are there thigh bones that are looking pretty darn nifty?
Very, very much so underneath this creature, but it's definitely that this creature is almost like been lying over the top of this.
Doing what?
I think it was a trap.
He's been munching on all the other people that have been sent down here. Maybe.
I don't know if I trust this little skeletal stand system. I want to gesture to well, I guess I'll just gesture to Hengist since you're right there. Do you think this will rise again? Pointing at the skeletal frame.
Angus, it's obviously he's not encountered, although he's a soldier of great experience, he's not actually encountered this sort of thing. He's usually been fighting people against people. So he's just going to go, I ain't got a head. I don't think it's coming back up.
You hear Gully from behind you saying, "Are you sure it's dead now? I thought it was dead before and it wasn't."
Dominic, do you think a second frame can lash out against us? You've seen things like this, right?
Dominic won't say anything. He'll just walk over, look inside the tomb, take his axe, and then just smash the skull of whatever's on the bottom.
Of the skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
Respect for the dead, Dominic.
I'll look at him and I'll be like, nope.
I mean, you can disrespect once they've disrespected you, but okay. You know what? What's done is done. I'm gonna reach in, see if my beautiful hand can't grab a thigh bone and pull it out without getting torn apart.
There's you could probably sort of like tip this top creature out, and then just sort of like take whichever thigh bone you feel you would like.
How many options do I have?
Well, there's two normally.
But there could be multiple. We'd have a problem if we're finding 6 in there.
There's two male. You think they're male because they're quite big. There's two sort of like thigh bones, and then there's all the other parts of the skeleton in there as well.
Okay. I'm gonna offer my best guess is to the left thigh bone. I'm gonna offer that to Hengist, and I'm gonna keep the right thigh bone to myself.
Okay.
Hengist.
Cool.
Angus is going to go, I don't need it, but thanks for the offer.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll put it back then.
You're the one trying to join a cult, not us.
Briggs is going to turn around and say, both of them.
Briggs is going around just going, drawing his arrow, putting it away, drawing his arrow.
Yeah, I'm next round. I'm just going to sit in the corner and rock.
Just remember, Briggs, you do have a saber as well.
Yeah, that doesn't work for him.
I want to turn around and look at Briggs. What are you mumbling about over there?
Bitch.
Dominic, just stop. Just bust out.
Gully's going to say, "Mr. Zyka, he doesn't mumble. He has a stammer and he can't help it."
and everybody just looks round at Ika, goes,
Dominic just wants to slap Briggs on the back and just laugh. He goes,
Belly bone.
funniest thing I've heard all go.
Belly bone.
Okay, so Ika, you can either take one or both of them. It's completely up to you. What do you fancy?
I'm going to take both now because I feel shamed and I need to pull more weight to make up for my offensive nature.
People, I see how it is.
Yeah, I'm a sheltered rich girl.
You certainly are.
What I do.
Yeah. Okay, so you can grab two of the bones.
Write down 2 of them.
2 thigh bones.
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
Gully's, as people are sort of like moving back, Gully's going to sort of like keep looking at the sarcophagus and at the gem on the big gem on the top. Is it sort of like very big? It's sort of like large egg shaped, bigger than an egg.
It's about the size of my fist.
Does it look like everybody else is just going back?
So yeah, Angus has turned his back on the sarcophagus now, and he's walked down the little path he made, having clapped Ika on the back on his way past in silent acknowledgement of her amazing strike against the creature. He's cleaned off his sword on the hem of his cloak, and he's sheathed it, and he's currently got his back to Gully. As he's starting to walk away.
Dominic's hiding behind a pillar.
Yeah.
Well, I'm heading out, but I didn't want to like move my character all the way. I'm like moving gradually as I'm not just hiding behind the pillar.
It looks like you're hiding. When you look at Gulliver's Light, it looks like you're hiding behind a pillar.
Gulliver's going to see that Ika's has got the at least 1 thigh bone. I can't remember how many she took.
She's got 2 now. Yeah.
Right. And he's going to say, is that it completed now? Can we go?
Yes, we can.
And you will tell your father that we did the we did a good job, weren't you? Because we did protect you, and I healed you at one point.
Absolutely. I will tell my father all sorts of good things so that he'll get off my back for once.
I always feel that Hengers at this point should just come. Dominic, come here.
I'm just standing there like, come on, guys.
Dominic is just thinking, I want to go to the bar and the tavern right now.
It's like when your parents are like, we're leaving, and then they stay another 30 minutes and talk. You're sitting there like...
Gulliver's going to pick up the lantern, and he's going to go, let's go then. Let's go. The quicker we get back, the quicker we get the money.
Let us depart.
So yeah, and Hengist will join the rest of the party. Near the front, he's not too bothered at this point because he's fairly sure that the way out is pretty safe. He's not too bothered if he's at the front or not. But yeah, he's going to start heading off.
Cool. Are we good to just roll out in those, or do we need to like role play us walking all the way?
I'm going to hang on.
My feet.
Oh, don't move! Don't move! He's doing something.
Just Gulliver, just stay still. I just need to. I just need to collect you all.
No.
It's a trap.
There you go. Okay. I've got you.
You got us.
Yeah. Okay then. So you quite happily go out of the actual the crypt, and by the time you get up to the graveyard up above, you notice that the wagon that was left nearby is there, and you know the sun's just up breaking over the horizon, and so the guy who takes your wagon, I think the horse is called Beth, but he sort of like says, oh yeah, it sort of like heads back to town, and the actual ride back to town is quite uneventful, and you know Ika spends some time wrapping these what could be perceived as holy thigh bones in a religious manner, covering them with cloth, etc. Dominic spends the time with his hatchet, using it to scrape off any remains of the inside of the snake's body off his snake skin, hoping to get it ready for some kind of skull cap later on. And you, after your journey back to Lindowe, you feel very positive about things, knowing that you're going to get this wonderful reward of 300 silver pieces and maybe even additional money now that Ika is safe and sound. And, you know, some of you did some really good sets of healing to sort of like keep her along and keep her alive, even when there was some kind of pit trap. And you sort of like head on into Lindowe, and you come into the town. And while you're in the town, you suddenly notice that you arrive back at some kind of parade, and it would appear that there's a parade going on, and it seems to be a parade of nobility going through the streets, and you're sort of like, you can see yourself in a little side street there, and with Hengist and Dominic at the front, and you sort of like notice that there's a parade going by, and everybody is sort of like not necessarily cheering, and you sort of like look up and down and sort of like thinking, oh, who is this, you know? And as an open carriage passes, Ika, you spot your father in an open top carriage, and he's sort of like riding by, looking quite elderly but still very upright. And you, just as the cart passes your position, you suddenly hear a sound, and Ika, before your very eyes, you suddenly see this rather short but quite thick crossbow bolt shoot from somewhere near you, straight down and straight through the skull of your father, who just sort of like topples over to one side. There's much commotion now, and there's screaming, and the guards are sort of like coming round, and you notice that something, or should I say someone, sort of like dives down from up on the roof, and sort of like starts to head away in a vain attempt to try to get away. And even you yourselves notice that his inexperience as he sort of like tries to dive out the way and across the road, and you notice that he, although he might be a good shot, his fleet of foot is not very good at all, and he tends to bash into people left, right and centre until many of the guards sort of like take him down, and he sort of like falls down near the front, just near you, and a lot of the guards suddenly have their spears to his throat as he sort of like lies there, and you notice that he suddenly almost seems to accept his fate as he looks up and smiles at not only the guards but almost at you guys as well. And in a very swift action, he raises his hand, and before anybody can stop him, he seems to consume what appears to be a very small glass vial of liquid that instantly foams at his mouth, and he convulses and shakes as this foam comes out, and his eyes bulge, and his whole body racks and sort of like arches, and pulling away sort of like his black outfit. And after a while, he just sort of like one final spasm, he just relaxes and appears to be dead on the floor. And it's only then that as you look down, you suddenly notice tattooed onto his chest is a tattoo of a double-headed snake. And we will leave it there.
Father!
Well, later, Ika.
Sister!
Okay.
So 500 silver then, was it?
Okay, so
I've already spent it.
I'm spending it.
Before we go any further tonight, can I just say that you have some experience? You do certainly have experience. If you, I will give, if you came through the whole adventure from beginning and end, then you can have 3 experience rolls. If you join the adventure halfway through, then you can have 2.
So that's 1 for me then.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Ika, you will actually get the 3, even though you've just appeared. If it's so, anyway, now what we need to decide is what goes on from this point in the game. However, I will let you have the opportunity of saying who you are and where people can find you. And we'll start off with Chuggerwugger.
Hello, I'm Chuggerwugger. I've been playing Gully, which I do on every Saturday in the Mithras campaign. You can also find me on a Tuesday where I play Stanley Lovely, aka Studley, in the Shadowrun campaign. He's the combat mage, very likable guy. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter occasionally, or you can find me in Inwells's channel where I act as a moderator.
Fantastic. And underneath him, we have Big Beastie.
I am Big BC. You can catch me in my own channel whenever I stream. Other than that, you can catch me here on Saturdays playing Mithras and Tuesdays playing Shadowrun. I also lurk inside Will's channel, and I've started lurking inside Raf's channel as well.
Excellent. And over the other side, we have Longshanks EPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks EPG. Tonight you've been watching me play Mithras with this amazing group of people, where I've been playing Hengist, the team, group or the party's tank and warrior, and budding leader of the party. I think it's safe to say. You can usually find me on a Tuesday night playing Shadowrun with Inwell's Big Beastie and Chuggerwugger, where I play Hector, a gunslinging adept elf, and then in other times you can usually find me on Inwell's Discord or whenever Inwell's is streaming in his channel. And although I've been in Wraths, I haven't been in recently, so much apologies, Wrath.
Oh, don't accept it, Wrath. Don't accept it. I wouldn't.
And then I will be checking out if Mr. Pickles does any streaming. If he does, then I will be joining him in his, maybe. I'm not sure if he does or not.
Brilliant. And Wrath, who are you?
Pass. I'm Wrath Inspired. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's stream. I'm playing Dominic Shea, the group's Horson. Yeah, that's pretty much all I do here. I love Inwells and I spend as much time here as possible, but I also work 50 hours a week and stream 60 to 70 hours a week, so you can always catch me over on my channel, where we do all kinds of stupid shit and you pretty much just go there and make fun of me. It's all good and fun. That's all I got for you guys. Divinity: Original Sin. Yeah, that's a game. Well, I had played it a little bit in the past, but never actually got into it because I was waiting for a certain legend to join me on it. But my viewers told me that they wanted me to pick it up again. So fantastic. Starting it all over. Looks good. And finally, Mr. Pickles.
I'm Mr. Pickles. I don't stream, just to answer that question. But other than playing this beautiful Ika McDuff in Will's channel, I mostly just do some casual DMing over for Wrath's channel. That's me. I'm Mr. Pickles. Cool. I was just about to have a drink then. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
We thought you had more, Mr. Pickles.
There's just not much more. I am on Wrath's Discord a lot, so if you want to bother me.
You guys don't know, Pickles is one of the original founders of our entire community called the Faction. He's an admin for the Faction. He's one of our pro member DMs. He's also a legend on Twitch and D&D community. And we are gifting him this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas season, we're gifting him a gaming computer for all his work in the faction. So he
Oh my
will
gosh.
be getting into gaming and maybe
Fantastic.
streaming.
Excellent.
Yay!
Yay.
There's Mr. Pickles.
Well, how can I follow that? How can I seriously follow that? My name's Inwills and I live at the bottom of a tank. My name's Inwills. I've been the GM for this lovely group of people tonight. I will be back on this channel tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock GMT time to play some more Elder Scrolls Online. And then Tuesday at 7 o'clock for some more Shadowrun. And if you would like to know what happens to this fearless, handsome, and very intrepid group of characters, then please, why don't you come back next week at 7 o'clock to see where they end up and what they do next. And of course, if you would prefer to see what they have already achieved, then please don't forget to go along to the website, which is inwills.co.uk, where you can find all the past adventures there to catch up on. What will happen next week, we do not know. And that is the joy of this game. So, please, I'm going to finish this stream like I always finish each and every one of my streams. Have fun, guys. And I'll catch you all later. And until then, consider yourself waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.